Hi guys, I'm Adam Lyons. Now, I'm known as a bit of a dating expert and somebody who teaches pick-up artists the game all around the world. But what not a lot of people know is that before all of this, I was actually a geek. I used to spend a lot of time playing Dungeons and Dragons. I used to spend time playing Magic the Gathering and Games Workshop and basically any kind of strategy board game that involved wizards and dragons and goodness knows what else. Now, what I used to do when I used to play these games was to analyse the core components and the core rules that helped decide how the game was played. And then once I knew what they were, I would break them to give myself an advantage by exploiting loopholes. Now, since joining the game, believe it or not, that was actually my exact method and approach to be able to do things correctly. What I wanted to do was to find the core elements that make this work and then learn how to exploit them. Now, a lot of the basic theory and formula behind what I teach, we actually cover in our boot camps, which we do all across America and Europe and absolutely everywhere. But I'm always coming up with new ideas and ways to exploit other small different areas just to help build upon the whole picture. And I don't often get to get these actually written down on paper. What I've got is a whole bunch of little notes, and I don't ever get to get them out. So I spoke to some of the guys. What we decided to do is to throw together some of these videos where I'll actually be taking you through some of the steps and some of my new principles and theories as and when I develop them, and getting them out in mediums like this. Now, this is the first one, and it takes the basics of something I call the metagame, which is the idea of playing a game different to what everyone else is playing. While everybody else is concentrating on dealing with the set directly, the metagame governs the idea of controlling a situation and looking at the whole bigger picture in order to achieve the result you want. I've thrown together a couple of little diagrams to help you guys understand some of the methods that I'm trying to get across to you. Some of it goes out of sync a little bit. I hope you can bear with it and enjoy it. One of the first things we learn in the game is the importance of the 3-second rule. Many of us found ourselves using this very rule as the best way to get over our approach anxiety, making sure that within the first 3 seconds of seeing a beautiful girl, we approached. As we find ourselves progressing through game and moving beyond the stage where approach anxiety is a factor to worry about, we have to start revisiting those early lessons. When approach anxiety is no longer a factor, we suddenly find the 3-second rule can actually be a hindrance in our strategy. How can we be sure of this? Let's get theoretical. Okay, so here we have a typical club situation, and right in the corner we've got 2 HB10s. Dotted around the room we've got HB7s, HB6, HB5, etc, etc. And here's our PUA. Now what does he do? According to the 3-second rule, he goes straight up to the hottest girls in the room and approaches. Now think about it. What line could the PUA possibly use that wouldn't give away the fact he's hitting on them? Hi, can I ask your opinion on something? Be honest, do they know you're hitting on them? Let's forget the words for a second and instead look at the actions. The PUA goes straight up to the 2 girls and ignores everyone else in the room. We're aware in game just how important body language and sub-communication is, yet we ignore the room dynamics when we open a set. If you ignore absolutely everyone in a room, then irrespective of what you're saying, you're hitting on the girl. No matter how indirect you are, your actions are all completely direct. In fact, your best chance of getting the girl are probably to be completely honest with yourself and go direct. At least that way you're being genuine. If you say, "Do you know where the toilets are?" She's thinking, "Why ask me? He's obviously hitting on me." What if you say, "Who lies more, guys or girls?" She's thinking, "You came all the way across the room to ask me? You're hitting on me." If you say, "I'm gay, I like boy butts and I cannot lie," she's still thinking, "You came all the way across the room to tell me. You're hitting on me." Almost anything you say will give away the fact you're hitting on her. If you still plan on going indirect, then you have to make sure your body language and actions match the words you're using. This means social proof.
Go around the room, vibe with the other sets, bounce off into them, and you almost ignore the 2 HB 10s that you're actually looking at getting. Now, if you open the room correctly, you should be able to build up enough comfort with the room as an entity that the HB 10s begin to notice you. If you've managed to game the other girls correctly, you've probably built up pre-selection as well. This should be more than enough attraction and value to ensure that even if the HB 10s don't approach you directly, they'll make it very easy for you to approach them. But why is this? Well, it's simple, really. Just like any other person, HBs need validation. They need to know they aren't losing it and are capable of outperforming the girls in the room who aren't as hot as they are. Essentially, they need validation they're still the best. Of course, this plays them completely into your arms and leaves you free to game them indirect or directly if you so choose. The concept of playing the metagame is to think of pickup as something that factors in more than just a target set. Instead of focusing interaction with a person, you take into account other factors such as how the room perceives you, why the event is happening, and whether there are other PUAs there.
That was the basics of the metagame. Obviously, this is just a very fundamental area of it. We're just looking ideally at pre-selection or social proof in so many ways. However, the metagame itself does go on much further than that, and should hopefully give people a much broader understanding of the game, and of course how to improve yourself while doing it. Please go out there, test it, try it out in field, give us some feedback, let us know how you're finding it, and look forward to the next tutorial as and when I can get it up. Cheers.